a woohoo. Just like I said, you start playing and you get, sometimes you think you're going somewhere and you're not, and then you run into stuff along the way. So I was actually just messing around with, and I ended up here on one of the chords, and that just, the song clicks in your mind. And so you run along the happy trails. Sometimes you find them, you find stuff while you're playing, and you just run along those happy trails as you find them. And the more you play, the more you hear stuff that you listen to on the radio, and you go, oh my God, that's it. So you just play a little bit, and you pick a little bit, and you get a little something out of it. So, and that's just running across the cherry trail, just running your neck and going down through the train and making sure you're just playing whatever you feel like. Like you can run into Jack Johnson if you really want to. I don't know where he goes. He goes, be my neighbor. That's it. So that's upside down, you go upside down. I want to. So you find little happy stuff along the way, and it's just a matter of playing. It's not necessarily knowing where you're going. It's just you say, well, I want to play in A. Well, then you start running down all the stuff that's in A. And you hear notes there and there, and you just mess around with them. It's just wherever you take yourself, that's where you want to go. It's about the adventure, adventure of playing. And it's about trying different shapes. Like if you notice, I started with an A style A, or C style A, I should say. Then I went to a C style G, then a regular bar D, and then I changed it. I went to a bar A, to a bar G, to a bar D. So it's just about finding your happy place with stuff, man, and running your way down the scales the way that you want to, and running the notes and the chords the way you want to. And see how it sounds different the way that you play it. You might want a more full tone, or you might want an open tone. So it's just up to you, or you might want to. you want to play it. You play the chords that make you feel great. That's what it's about. I think the most of the time people get caught up in I've got to have the right chord, or I've got to have the right structure, or I've got to make it sound exactly like whoever. No, that's what makes music great is it doesn't have to sound exactly like the person you're trying to imitate. Yeah, you want it to sound close, but you can change stuff to where nobody really would know the difference if you're just in a setting. Nobody's really going to know the difference. It's just going to sound a little different to them, but they're not really going to know because you're playing the same notes. So, hey, Bubba. My puppy came to visit. Look, I should say hello. This is old Dexter Doodle, the lady killer. He came to visit and say hi. And then how you strum too, like the pattern you're using with your opposite hand, whether you're finger picking it, like. So I'll just put that down. I don't have anything in my hand. That changes the sound versus actually strumming it with a pick. And it's all up to you the sound that you're looking for. I mean, you can use a hybrid of both. Like Brad Paisley uses hybrid in both. He'll. So I've got both going. This is without. Now this is tucked in. So if you ever see my hand like this tucked in, there's no pick. But if I'm doing like this, there is a pick. But it's all up to you. I mean, it's how you want to play. Then it really depends on what type of music you want to play too, your strumming pattern. So some things have to have straight down stroke patterns. So you'll hear that sometimes in like older folk music. It'll do all down strokes, but they're just going playing the bass line in it. So you just pick up stuff along the way. I mean, it's just, and the more you watch people, sometimes you can pick up what their hands are doing, and then sometimes you have to break it down. Like before YouTube. So I hate to admit that I'm older than YouTube, but I am. I'm older than YouTube. I'm older than Google. Gosh, I'm older. I'm an old fart. And before YouTube was really popular, you had to go and record with an actual camera or your phone before camera phones became popular. You had to go and record it with an actual handheld camera, and then go back and try to replay it and get everything that you wanted. You had to buy the tapes, buy VHS tapes. See, that's dating your age right there. You talk about VHS stuff, but you had to buy the VHS tapes to watch these people perform and do their craft. And so that you could learn the songs just like they played or how they wanted. Or you had to rely on books and media. And sometimes books and media were not. Howlin' Leonard was the company that got real famous off of it because they signed a contract with the big conglomerate music agencies like Sony, BMG, BMI, and ASCAP and all that. And so when an artist would record, they would automatically notate what notes they were playing and how they were doing it. So you had to buy the Hal Leonard books there for a while. So stuff has just changed along the way too. So there's that. You know. It's a little Billy Joel. Didn't think that was coming through tonight. But G, B minor, A. Ooh, sorry. Only the good die young. I mean, there's stuff that you have to watch to learn though now. I mean, that's really the only way. Sometimes you hear something and you'll try to woodshed it and you can't figure out what key it's in, and it's because they've detuned or they've changed keys by transposing it from an original key and using a keyboard and transposing their music, or using MIDI and transposing their guitar. And so there's some things that you have to learn like that. Um, some things I have to learn like that, you know. Now, I'm not a guitar virtuoso by any means. Beginners. So you you know, can't be scared to try new things. I think that that's one of the most important things. If you notice, I've played the same thing there and here. I played it here too. So you can't be afraid to try new things. You just got to be able to just get out there and go with it and see where it takes you, because it'll take you a beautiful place. You can even do it, you know, let's say D. So we're in E, F, G. Da, 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 la, 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 la. So A to B, B to C, C to D. So D would be here. Mm. So I just found a 3-pronged chord structure there. I took a half C, I moved it to a D. I moved to a G major or a D over. And so, I mean, like I said, it's just finding stuff like. So you just find your happy place with stuff and you just play. Okay, so that was a low C. You can play here. So I mean, there's many different ways that you can play. You know, you find stuff like I said, you start playing and it just things just start clicking. You know, you play a certain pattern. Like that was Heaven, knocking on heaven's door. Mama, take this bag off of me. I don't need it anymore. It's getting hard to see. And so you just find your stuff along the way and you just play it, man. And that's what it's about. Music is about having fun. Playing stuff you like. Get with people who are like-minded or may have a different take on a song that you're playing. Like I told you, you know, you can play that C here. You know, it's just about where you want to play it. So So we're going to go into like a 9 shape minor now. So we'll do. It's all the same. It's just a matter of where you're putting your fingers and where you're moving it. So just have fun. And like I said, I mean, I'm not a guitar virtuoso, but I enjoy playing. So until next time, maybe a few minutes, who knows.